Well, folks, I want to show you the importance of a small town restaurant. This is sort of like Sheena's in Barnardsville. The local restaurant we have here is the gathering place. It's where you find out what's going on. If you need something fixed, this is where you find out who you can get to fix it. If you have car parts that need to be ordered, there's a gentleman there that's ran the car part business for 60 years. He can tell you every kind of part there are. He can tell you what's the best vehicle on the road right now. He can tell you who the best mechanics are. We got another fella there that he specializes in doing landscaping and stuff like that, so he can tell you anytime you need to know something about your grass seed and what time of the year to fertilize and all that stuff. And then you got farmers there and everything else. But at this particular day, we celebrated my dad and one of his good friends, a hunting buddy, 84th birthday. So we're gonna share with you some pictures from my dad and David's 84th birthday. They were born on the same day, and they've known each other their whole life. They've deer hunted together all their whole life. They've gone to church together their whole life. So two good friends celebrating at the local breakfast spot at the local restaurant in town. Now folks, this next picture, I tell you what, there's a lot of stress right here on this next picture. I wanted to share with you. Now, all of you know, now Brother Bud, he's a veteran, United States Navy. And his son is visiting some colleges and things to get an idea of where he thinks he would like to go based on what he's wanting to study. And all of you know that not only is Brother Bud pull for the Navy, but he's a huge Carolina Tar Heel fan. And I'm sure you've seen him on his videos sporting his Carolina Tar Heel sweatshirts and stuff. And we tell him he's got a big stain on it and stuff like that. You can see him wearing it. I know for sure he was wearing it that day. We were all at Big Ivy, and we was picking at him about that big stain on his shirt, that big Carolina Tar Heel logo and all that stuff. But I wanted to share with you where Brother Bud is at this morning so that you can get an idea of where his son's looking at going to school. And you can see the stress on Brother Bud's face of where his son is looking to go study. Now, after further consultation with Brother Bud, he's going to get a kick out of this. He don't know I've put this little video on him about that. But his son has actually applied to Western Carolina. He's actually over at NC State playing tennis. His son's a big tennis player, loves to play tennis. So they're over there playing in some tournament over at NC State. But I've got to poke a couple of jabs at my good friend, Brother Bud, knowing he's a big Carolina fan and that he's over at NC State. I guess it's better to be there if you're a Carolina fan than it is to be at Duke. But we just kind of had to make a little fun of it, you know, just to get things kind of hilarious and a little funny and things, and poke a few jabs at Brother Bud. So you see, folks, Brother Bud is over at the college I pull for. As you can tell, I went through NC State and got my Master Gardener's certification and things from NC State and North Carolina A&T University. on that agricultural aspect that I liked. And I did not attend college at NC State, but I went through their Master Gardening program and really enjoyed it. I chose my time back in the day. I went to flight school and worked for the airlines for many, many years until 9/11 wiped that out. But I've got to poke a little fun at Brother Bud that, he's over at a very top-notch university. He did say that his daughter really liked NC State, and I'm sure he's going to try to talk her out of that. But that's all right. A good school, the ACC's got a good program, and wherever she chooses to go, that'll be all right. I know it'd be tough on him to send a check over to NC State, being a huge Carolina fan. Well, folks, I want to give a big shout out to Brother Bud's son while he was over at NC State. Bud sent me a picture. He placed third over in the tournament at the tennis match at NC State. So a big shout out to Brother Bud's son. Congratulations on that fine playing that he did over there at NC State. I know that just worries. You could see the stress in Brother Bud's picture there as he was on campus. But Brother Bud, it'll be all right. That's a good place to be. I go over there quite frequently, to be honest with you, and catch some volleyball games and some baseball games and football and basketball and things like that. And hopefully about March or April, where they have that they'll have a track meet there, and I'm hoping that my daughter will be able to come on down and run track at NC State. She's got to play volleyball in the Reynolds Coliseum. She went over there when she was a freshman to volleyball camp, and she told us, she said, I'm going to play volleyball in this arena one day. And sure enough, in their senior year of high school, they were in the state playoffs, and they played the final state championship game there in Reynolds Coliseum against Camden County, and my daughter's team won the state 2A championship that year in the volleyball. So she fulfilled her dream of playing volleyball in Reynolds Coliseum. But a big shout out to Brother Bud's son, who placed third in that tennis match over there at NC State. Well, folks, I'm going to have to exercise a proud dad moment here. As many of you know, my daughter's in college and been running track for quite some time. And she originally started out, she was in the Naval Academy. After she'd been in just a little while, she got injured running track and doing PT, and she kept telling them that something wasn't right. She was starting to have a lot of pain in her knee, and but she continued on. She kept trying to drive through it. They tried physical therapy, and they did that cupping thing, and then they did acupuncture. They done all kinds of therapy and everything in the world. But the further the track season got in, the further that she declined in her performance. And finally, now this happened in October, and finally in February they gave her an MRI through the Navy, and they determined that she had a torn meniscus. Well, they operated on it in the 1st of March, and she was going to have to go through pretty much not having any mobility until early fall, and going through physical therapy and possibly be released in October or November from the specialist to be able to go back and start her competing and her regular schooling. Well, they decided that they would just discharge her, and she was kind of happy about that because she wasn't going to be able to do the rigorous training and stuff that was going to go on, and she was going to kind of be behind when she went through. They do a trimester in the Naval Academy. They cram 3 semesters into 2, and it's real tough on you, especially if you're an athlete. And but she had competed many times up north in Boston and all up through that area in the I can't remember the name of that league. They were in the Patriot League when they were in the Naval Academy, and they had ran through a lot of the schools and competed against the Atlantic 10. And she had ran across the coach at the University of Rhode Island, and the University of Rhode Island coach took her under her wing and brought her into Rhode Island, and she got a presidential scholarship. She used her GI Bill and other means of scholarships to be able to get a full ride over to URI and start competing and running track. And it took over a year for her to get back to regular competition levels in Division I, and she's in her third year, but she's in her final year because of the studies at the Naval Academy and her what they called capstone in high school. She entered University of Rhode Island 40% complete with her degree. So she's coming out of the University of Rhode Island with 2 degrees, one in English and one in political science, and in a 3-year period. But technically she's in her, I guess you'd say, her junior year, but on paper she's a senior, and she's going to go to get her master's next year at the University of Rhode Island. But the big thing was yesterday she won her first collegiate track meet up there at the University of Rhode Island at her home track, and I was tickled to death for her to do this. And she's come a long ways since she got injured at the Naval Academy. She's not quit, she's not give up. She's pushed and pressed forward, and she saw the results yesterday as she was atop the standings for the women's high jump. And she won it at 5'3" yesterday, and she went completely through with no scratches, and but she did scratch out at 5'5" on the bar. So normally they let the winner move up however they want to, but this time they decided they're just going to crank it up and move it up 2 inches. And but she missed on her all 3 tries there on 5'5", but I was proud of her. She's come a long ways. I got a couple of video clips for you showing her jumping from about 5 foot to 5'3", and then we got the standings to show a proud dad moment for my daughter up at the University of Rhode Island. Hello, Sammy. What are you doing here at the deer stand, buddy? You know, we probably need to be heading on back toward the coop. It's going to get dark early today. You don't need to be hanging around out here. I realize the deer's going to think you're a turkey. You don't think so? What you're thinking? You gonna hang around? Alright, well, I'm gonna climb up in the deer stand. Okay, I'll see you at the bit. You'll probably be on the door, I'm sure. Well, there's Ricky. What are you doing out here? You're sitting here, and Sammy's over there. Now, you know, if you're sitting on this rail, and even though you squatted down, and you sitting on that split, you're gonna get frostbite on them feet. What you got to say about that? I can't keep you. You can see my breath in this. It's cold, ain't it? You're gonna wind up getting frostbite there, buddy. We're gonna have to pick you up, put you in the pen. Same way with you, Sammy. You can't sit here on the door. Now you've sat out here, and now Ricky's sitting over here. He thinks he can do the same thing. Won't you do like Rudy and get on in the coop? That'd be the simplest thing to do. We wouldn't have to go through this every evening. It's mighty cold. You fellers is gonna wind up getting frostbite if you ain't in there like everybody else, where it's warm. Well, folks, a little report out of Momo's Cheer. They are scrambling to get all of this Christmas stuff ready for those nearly 1,000 children. They received a donation yesterday of 57 brand new bicycles. However, they said that still was not going to be enough to meet the needs of the kids that wanted a bicycle, but it's a lot closer than they were. So they're still going at it strong, and they've got a long ways to go. It's still early December. They'll be wide open until probably Probably the 15th or 16th of December, somewhere in that neighborhood. And they will begin wrapping it up then, because they have to get all of the toys and things and gifts for the children out to the locations to be dispersed for Christmas. So, a little note on that. Also, another note, Brother Bud took a big load of propane up to B-Log and over to Cry. I think he said he dropped off 77 bottles at B-Log. That's a big chunk at $10 a tank. And then he filled up 3 100-pound tanks at a closer location, because 100-pounders are heavy, hard to handle, hard to haul. He took them to a local place and filled those up and paid for them, and it was $91 a tank to fill the 100-pounders up. And then he took 40 tanks to Cry and got Colton some propane over there and got him squared away. Very cold this morning, folks. They told us the fog and stuff would freeze. Well, sure enough, it did. There's black ice on the road. A lot of ice on the roofs and things of people's houses. No word of any wrecks or anything, but probably see on the rear view defogger back there where we've had to defog the ice. And this one was in the carport, so it wasn't sitting outside, but it was still froze up from the fog. Well, folks, we appreciate you joining us here this evening. A little bit different video than normal, but we had to have a little fun here and poke a little fun and celebrate some victories for Brother Bud's son and my daughter and things like that. But we'll be back at the normal routine and normal things that's going on in Western North Carolina on our next video. We hope everybody has a blessed day. Thanks for watching, and continue to pray for those in Western North Carolina.